Now, I take the opportunity to introduce our guest for the day, Mr. Aalekh Shukla. Sir, may I have your permission to please begin? Thank you, sir. Sir is passionate about sales and wants to take on different situations, solving them with smart and logical solutions. Sir has done BBM in marketing from Alliance Business Academy. He has done his PG DBM in marketing and international business from Indus Business School, Pune. Sir is our alumni from batch 2007-9. Currently, Sir is working at United Biscuits Pvt Limited with the capacity of Key Accounts Manager. Sir has also worked as Area Sales Manager in United Biscuits Pvt Limited. Previously, Sir has worked with MTR Food Pvt Limited. Sir has an expertise in handling modern trade clients, business development, distribution, client handling, key accounts management, and many more. With this, I request Sir to kindly address our batch.
Hello, am I audible? Okay. So, I started my career in 2009, which she said as with MTR Foods Private Limited. And I can tell you that time industry, I hope most of you know that time industry was not in great shape. But then I was lucky enough to be placed with a brand like MTR. But I can see a certain change which has evolved in last 7-8 years in the industry. When I joined in 2009, things were different, were quite easy in terms, I would say. Not so easy, but yes, it was easy. But then now, last 5 years, whenever I have seen a hike in my personal profile and the organizations and the industry which has changed, things are going to be tough. What important would be now for all of you, just to be specific, that you guys are within the institute now and trying to incorporate whatever is being taught here and the different projects which you will come across with. I'm sure Jaisar will keep all of you busy with one or the other thing. He's been expert in that, so I'm sure you will not have a easy time here, but I'm sure you will have a time which you will remember. I still remember my days here, and I used to be one of you a few years back, so it's been not very late. I've just had 8 years or 9 years in industry, but then whatever I have learned in last 7-9, which was 2 years here, has helped me and would keep helping me around the careers. Why I'm saying this? Because the basic principles or the basic logic or the discipline or the characters which you need to have, IIBM is the right institute to be in. Why? Because there are n number of management institutes available in the country. I've been opening like a tree everywhere, but then you have to be in the right set and the right frame of mind before you go and expose yourself to the industry. Now, industry is not easy, as I said earlier. It has changed a lot over last 5 years. Important would be how you understand it now. My piece of advice to all of you would be not to limit yourself to anything. Okay, find out ways, find out opportunities in which you feel you can always go back to sir and understand what is your strength. A SWOT analysis would be the ideal, but we keep saying of SWOT analysis reminds me that we always say, yeah, everyone understands what is SWOT analysis. I'm sure everyone understands here, but SWOT analysis is one, what I personally believe is needs to be done every 1 month. So it's that tough. Now you can't have a SWOT analysis in the year and then say, boss, I know what are my strengths, because time has changed. Now you have to understand after a month that what has changed. So you decide something on first of the month, and then you try for that, or you end up achieving, or you don't end up achieving. No, and you make certain mistakes. And why I'm saying all this is because you guys are in a mode with which you will be working on a lot of things currently. You will be handling different set of subjects here. You will be handling different set of projects. So important is to understand what is going your way or what is not going your way. Important is to have the right frame of mind before you enter the corporate world or the corporate war, which I keep saying. Why war? Because there are people who can be better than you, but then there are people who are below you. I would say look at both the angles. No, I would not say that look only at above. Look at below also. Understand, because you never know what you can learn from others, what you can learn from people who are below you or above you. Important would be that you don't decide that आफ्टर माई MBA मैं यही करूँगा या मैं इसी लोकेशन से ऑपरेट करूँगा. दिस इज़ वन थिंग विच जनरली कम्स नाउ whenever you guys would complete your courses here and start venturing out for opportunities. A lot of companies would come. Sir told me that there are a lot of multinationals coming this year to the institute. A lot of already come and recruited people from students from here. So I'm sure by the time you guys would be eligible for the final selections and for the summer projects, there would be a lot of companies available. Important would be don't limit yourself to any location. Don't be very specific in terms of कि मैं यहीं से काम करूँगा या मैं यहाँ से यहाँ नहीं जा सकता, मैं ये नहीं कर सकता. Don't be specific. Your fields you would decide. That's fine in terms of you want to make your career into human resources or HR, sales, production, finance, marketing. That is your call. But I'm saying don't be location specific initially in your career, because that would limit to yourself. Now you never know what kind of opportunity is waiting at the other location. So you have to be very cautious in terms of what you speak and what you understand. You have to be very, very smart in terms of choosing your locations. Then once you start, let's talk about that also, because once you start you will have to drill down yourself. It will not be initially when you start your career. When I started my career, one thing which I promised to myself is that I will burn the midnight oil, and I will put myself into all state of bother, put myself into a discomfort situation. Why? Because that has helped me now. Now when you start your career, or in fact during the time when you guys are here, don't make a time which is a smarter time, or don't make a time in which you feel you're comfortable. Try to put yourself into difficult situation. Take challenges, accept challenges, ask for challenges. I'm sure you will have more. If you go to sir and ask, he will be able to provide you a lot of challenges, but that would help. Now you will not be able to cope up once you go out, because things outside or in any organization, see, it will not be it is not important with the size of organization. I can tell you from my example, I was working with MTR and joined United Biscuits. I hope, and I'm not very sure if all of you know what are the difference in turnovers of both the brands. MTR is a huge organization currently in FMCG. United Biscuits is still a smaller kind of organization. The reason sir asked me downstairs why you shifted, the only answer I have is that at MTR, at certain level I thought that there are no challenges to me, there are no learnings to me. That's the only reason I've shifted from a brand like MTR, in which I had a comfortable, and everything was as per me. I was the area manager there also. But then why I shifted to United Biscuits is to scale up myself. That was more important. I'm talking about 5 years back. It's been 5 years with United Biscuits, and I thank myself only because this was my decision against all the family members I have. Everyone was against it. My friends, my colleague, my corporate circle was against it. In fact, the company in which I was working, MTR, questioned me a couple of times, why are you doing this? But then I committed to myself that I need to have opportunity. Biscuits is one of the toughest bees in industry, and I thought, let's see what this bee can give it to me. So now, and that has certainly helped. Now I can tell you very confidently that I would have been a different guy 5 years back if I have still have with MTR Foods. ऐसा नहीं होता कि I would not have been successful, but then I think scale up नहीं होता, शायद कुछ कमी होती जो आज नहीं है to a certain extent. So point of advice or point of suggestion would be explore, work out in terms of drill down, understand what is right, what is wrong in terms of hard work, commitments, jaldi aana, timings, punctuality. All this would look slightly odd to you now, but within, I'm only talking about the circles of the institute. I will not talk about outside, because the IABM operates a certain high standards in terms of punctuality and discipline, which I can boast of because I have been part of this institute and I keep telling it to all the people I meet. Whatever pains you are getting it here now, mark my words, you will come back to Jaisar just like I have come back to Jaisar after 8 years. That it has helped me, and you would also come back to sir and say, and I'm sure a couple of you would be standing here after 7-8 years and speaking the same thing, and everyone is doing it. Everyone who has been in either my batch or in fact before batch, I was not the very older batch, but I'm sure everyone who has been a part of the institute, you would be meeting. Jaisar would arrange a lot of alumni here. One thing common would be, and everyone who passes out from IIBM would repeat the same thing, that take those pains now, and you would thank, unless 100 times to sir after you come back, sir, ki wo theek tha. Because I can understand doubts और why ये क्यों हो रहा है 8 years back when I used to answer myself कि इतनी जल्दी क्यों, why this gate gets banned and everything, but I was still speaking to sir downstairs that still the same. He said yes, that's been same, and I'm sure वो आज मेरे लिए to catch a flight at 5 a.m. or a 4 a.m. flight is not a very huge thing. मतलब I started from Mumbai today at 6:30, so it's not a huge thing for me. Why? Because somehow in these 2 years अब मुझे आदत हो गई, आप मुझे किसी भी समय बुला लो कहीं भी. That's the kind of thing this institute would give you while you are here. So have fun. It's a disciplined institute, but then आप बहुत सारी चीज़ें, you get lot of things here to learn, I think, which you will not get. See, books, I told sir also, books are same everywhere. You go to any institute, I'm sure the management books or the other books, subjects are similar. You would get to understand the same kind of subjects, the concepts are similar, but IIBM would give you a certain skill advantage, that and a personalized kind of postgraduate business diploma which other institutes will not allow you. So that is one KPI or the USP of this institute, that you will have an advantage here. And secondly important would be that how you groom yourself now. See, these 2 years will fly by. By the time I could understand, I was over with MBA and joined MTR Foods. So these years would go by, months would go by, days go by. Try and understand, since you have decided that this would be going to your journey path, after this you would be entering into this kind of field. Try and find out, explore with sir around and the other alumni. I'm the staff here, that are you working as per your decided goal in term. The reason I'm saying is, if you have decided to take up a marketing profile, for example, now you will have to understand yourself and drill down yourself to understand that whether are you only studying marketing, or are you making yourself ready enough to handle marketing 2 years down the line. So that would be very, very crucial. Now it would be marketing, concepts are similar, 4Ps, 6Ps, all this would be there, but are you ready? Why? Because when you go into organization, and mark my words, when you join an organization, I felt that, so I can share with you, it's my institute, so I can share, so it's a closed forum. When you join an organization, initially you would feel कि हमने जो पढ़ा है वो use नहीं हो रहा है. That feeling would automatically come. That would come, and मुझे भी ये लगता था. I told Jaisar also that क्यों पढ़ा? But since आप आज जो पढ़ रहे हो, and those पढ़ाई या those studies come handy at a strategic level. Now I am at a strategic level, being a key account manager of this organization. Now I understand कि हमने जो पढ़ा था, whatever we studied in books, now those principles will help. So initially we will have to understand the basics of a business, basics of an organization, be it any function, be it marketing, sales, commercial, finance, accounting, anything. You will have to understand. But then it does not mean that whatever you've been taught here will not help you. It will actually, because times would change. You would from a junior level, you would move to a strategic level. Okay, so it does not mean that the HR concepts you are reading here, or a marketing concept you are reading here, initially you would feel कि नहीं अभी तो मुझे कुछ और ही बता रहे हैं. That would happen, but then that does not mean that would not be helpful. Because see, understand that in any organization, in fact, if you go to any institute also, any organization hires people at a elementary level or at a basic level. Why? Because they want to give you that basic knowledge, and that basic knowledge is really essential. Don't aspire to become a manager from day one. Okay, so if you get an opportunity, I'm sure you will get, and that would help. But it's not कि मैनेजर बन जाएंगे, हमें एक AC ऑफिस का क्यूबिकल मिलेगा and then we will operate from that. Yeah, so that is the aspiration which all of us has. Yes or no? I think वही एक aspiration होगा सबका. So, but that's not the reality, guys. That's not the reality. It's not AC office. Your journey in this world, corporate world will not start from a AC office. You will have an office, but I'm saying then you would be limiting yourself. Why? Because I'm saying that unless until you know the basics of marketing, if you are doing I'm a sales guy, so I can tell more about sales. I'm sorry, if a couple of you would be into different or aspiring to become enter into a different kind of fields, but I'm a hardcore sales guy. I'm more into sales. I will talk more about sales. I will talk more about field. If you are trying to enter into sales, if you limit yourself to office profiles, if you limit yourself कि हमें comfortable सा office मिल जाए, हमें अच्छा खासा job मिल जाए, अच्छी salary मिल जाए, everything would happen, then you are putting a question mark to your own career, and that would be dangerous. Why? Because unless until you know the basics or elementary of any department, see, even in HR also you would join as either assistant executive HR or as associate HR. These are designations which generally organizations start with at a basic level. We'll have to work very, very hard. We'll have to understand, and you have to earn that position. Make sure you have a feeling of earning. So hunger of success should not stop. I'm not saying that you should not aspire. You should aspire to become a vice president of an organization. That's your aspiration. But to become a vice president of an organization, first 10 years in any department, in any field, you will have to work out yourself, work very, very hard, put all your efforts, and the other thing, you would have to channelize your efforts. So you have to understand that whatever efforts you are putting, are those the correct efforts? That is more important would be, because एक चीज़ होती है hard work. I'm sure the other thing everyone knows is smart work, but I think it has to be mix of both. Yeah, so we have to be hard. We have to be a hardworking or a committed, but it has to be smart. We can't be only a hardworking. See, some people start their office at 9, ends up at 10 p.m. Okay, there are some people who start at 9, ends up at 6. Result would be similar, but the second one is called hard plus smart. The other one is called only hard, and he or she would be sacked someday. Why? Because there are rules. I must tell you this, and sir, there are rules. My head office in Delhi, there is a strict circular that 7:30 the head office should get closed. No one should be in the office. That's the kind of circular it has come. Why? Because they don't want incompetent people to not do anything the entire day and then sit late at night and use the electricity of the organization and waste our money. People still sit, but I'm saying that that's the kind. The message of summary of this is, you have the entire day. You get good 8-10 hours to complete your job, or you complete your agenda. Other most important thing would be, which I can show you, but bag is not here. Make a habit of writing your agenda daily. Okay, so even today, and a day later when you start working, I still do that. So what happens is, whenever I reach office, or in fact from home only, I write the date and I write 5 things, 10 things which I have to do for today. And when I shut down my laptop in the evening from office, I just checklist it. So P is for pending and D is for done. Why I keep, and I'll be keep doing it till the time whatever level I reach. Why? Because then you know your own competency percentage. You know that you decided on 10 things, ended up doing 7, you've done 70% of your job. Okay? And when you decide on 10 things, you ended only 1, I think you've wasted your day. Because then you will have a load of 9 things of today and 10 things which will come new tomorrow. So have a habit of writing daily agendas. That would be, lot of diaries would get filled up. Don't mind. So spend that extra bucks, but have a habit, because that is a basic thing which you will be and believe me, it gives me a lot of confidence when I enter office, because I know once I open my laptop, what 10 things I have to do. It's not कि पहले 15 minute I really don't know हमें क्या करना है. It's from the moment I start my laptop, I know मुझे पहली and to be more precise, prioritize it. So you write the first 5 priorities of the day of the first half. I have, after being CAM, since there are a lot of loads on me, I have prioritized it. In fact, I have changed it from a area manager level to a CAM. Now I prioritize. So there I write first half, first 5 things, and second half, first 5 things. Why? Because I know first half I have to be, these 5 things, and then second half these things can wait for post lunch. And this has helped me a lot. And this would help you, everyone, because then you would be very, very sure कि आप अपना day waste नहीं कर रहे हैं. And it's not about कि office. I'm saying if you start your career tomorrow at a front level, then it's also you can have your agendas ready. See, agendas can be a client meeting, agendas can be a distributor meeting, agendas can be discussion with your boss, whatever. So it can be very basic. Don't afraid of what you are writing. Instead, it would be grateful that if you write, then you would be very, very sure that आप अपना day waste नहीं कर रहे हैं. Guys, each day here or each day at the corporate world, each year or each month is important, and it's only adding. Now, people say that I have X years of experience or X years of experience. What I like to understand, what I believe is when you say you have 7 years of experience or 8 years of experience, then you have to be very, very sure and understand by yourself that all those 8 years or 5 years or 1 year, whatever, suppose you start your career and you have 1 year. So you say that I have been in this industry in any department for a year. You will have to be very confident that the 1 year which has passed by, okay, you have understood some. 1 year is a very short time. You will not be able to understand the entire thing. But you will have to be, sure to yourself that you have understood in 1 year you have gained something. See, work experience is not a word just to be spoken about. Work experience is a word which tells that you have understood a sum. I have 8 years. I'm still not I will not say that I know 100%. I keep telling sir also, this is such a changing concept. This is so changing concept. I'm into modern trade business. This concept out of India operates differently. Modern trade in India is a different concept altogether. Modern trade, you go to a different country, there's a different concept. There are different ways they work in. So I can't be very sure that I've understood in 8 years, I've understood entire FMCG. You will have to have that learning skills every time. One can't say that I've spent 10 years in the industry, now nothing to learn. I'm done with the learning process and there's nothing new to learn. You will have to, because concepts are changing and you will have to open up and your thought process has to be open, and you should be ready to learn from anyone. See, learning does not mean that you will have to learn it only from superiors. If you have a good guy who's a junior, take learnings from him. I do that. So it's not कि हमें किसी senior से ही learning लेनी है. Good habits or good cultures does not demand a designation. Learnings is a learning if it is a fruitful learning. Okay, it can be taken from anyone. Important is कि how valid is this for you. But take only good learnings. Take learning which will help you. People will say 10 things to you. You will have to understand. I work on a 80-20% kind of a thing. There would be 100 things which would come to your mind whenever you start your career. And I keep telling it to my juniors, in fact to my seniors also, that I work on a 80-20 rule, which is I ensure that the 80% of my profile is under my control. At any given point of time, 80% of profile is under my control, 20% can be managed. Why? Because when you say that 80% of the profile is managed and is under your control, then when I close my eye, I say, ठीक है, as a capacity of key account manager, I'm able to justify my role. 20% I will have to see what needs to be done. But then have control on whatever you do. Just don't allow time to pass by and you don't have a control in life. Don't have a control in terms of what you are trying to become. So all these years when you are here, try and understand that one thing would be common, that try and understand that whatever you are trying to learn here is taking you to a right direction, is helping you and preparing you for the roles ahead, irrespective of the roles, irrespective of which organization. Don't limit yourself to organization also. I will say, by the time you guys would be eligible for final placements. Don't limit. So don't have a high profile or a top 100. I'm sure sir would arrange a lot of companies. I'm sure companies would improve. Companies are coming and there would be a lot of. But I'm saying good profile with a normal organization helps. It has helped me. So United Biscuits is still not a very huge brand, but it has helped me. So you will have to understand आपके लिए क्या सही है. That would be more important. Yeah. So by this would like to end, and my best wishes to each and everyone. Last thing before I leave is, as I said, ensure you guys work very very hard here and keep preparing yourself. That would be important. Don't all the discomfort, yeah, all the pains which you will face here now, looking at the discipline and the commitment levels of the institute, will surely help you. So don't think too much on that grounds. Focus on more better things which are happening inside the campus. Don't worry of the word which is happening outside, because you would get a lot of time in life to understand. I'm sure you guys go back home, so you will get that time. But good 8 hours, 10 hours here, justify each day and justify all these months and years. Do well. All the best. Thank you so much. Thank you.
A wise man hears one word and understands two. With this, I thank you, sir, for the phenomenal session. I'm sure the batch has learnt a lot. Thank you, sir.